Yeah. We're ready for your
Oh,
motion.
okay. So the first, the affirmative argues that they stand resolved that DACA should be revived by Congress because because of a myriad of reasons. The second one, if you go to their second argument first, they argue that the economy is going to be wrecked by DACA being lost, and they mention 3 states out of 50. They have evidence which is upcoming, but they haven't listed what the actual percentage of the entire U.S.'s GDP will be affected. So we don't know if those numbers are significant throughout the entire country, whether or not it's just to those few states, or what the actual economic impact will be. Secondly, there's entire possibility that the economy, by and large, isn't even affected by the migrant workforce as a whole. In an article by the Center for Immigration Studies entitled "The Impact of Mexican Immigration Wages and the Price of the United States," they note that while the impact of Mexican immigration on wages of unskilled workers in the 1990s may have been significant, the overall effects on prices in the United States must be very small. Therefore, it's unlikely that Mexican immigration is an effective tool for holding back wage inflation during periods of economic expansion. This is true that even if the decline in wages for unskilled workers is substantial, and even assuming that a large share of those savings are passed on to consumers. So even though there may be a significant loss in wages for the low end of all workers, the actual fiscal impact the consumer might see it's entirely possible that it would be low. If you go to their third argument, which was undocumented migrants standing up to the government, and that the government is taking advantage of them. It's entirely possible that the use of DACA is actually taking advantage of those very same people, or that the system is in fact being gamed the other way around. In an article entitled "Why Trump Should End DACA," which was published 2017, January 29th, by the author Dale Wilcox, the Executive Director and General Counsel for the Immigration Reform Law Institute. Following Obama's DACA announcement, radio and print ads began appearing south of the border, selling the services of cartel-controlled coyotes to teenage would-be illegal immigrants. In a matter of months, the 1,000 or so apprehensions of unaccompanied juveniles we've been seeing every year surged into the tens of thousands. So DACA in its first incarnation caused immediate harm, connecting minors with career criminals in order to exploit them, and increased the likelihood that youth crossing the border would both be connected to and dependent on a criminal organization. There were also in an article by a quote by Senator Tom Cotton in an article by Emily Jahinsky, commentary writer for the Washington Examiner. He explained that one of the 2 negative side effects were that it's entirely possible it's going to create an entire category of persons eligible for chain migration, which means that the very first people eligible are the parents of DACA recipients, which is to say that very people who broke the law by bringing their kids here are now going to be rewarded for sending their kids ahead of them and putting them at risk. And that's the sort of people that will be affected by DACA being in use. Also, it's entirely possible that DACA's survival in and of itself as a bill may not even matter is that time? All right.
I now stand.
I now stand open for cross-examination. The screen. Gotcha.
Okay, so what was your first tagline for your first argument?
The tagline for the first argument, I didn't get to it, let's start the second one.
Okay, your second argument.
Tagline for the second argument was, the economy is by and large unaffected by migrants in the workforce.
Okay. And what was that source?
The source was the Center for Immigration Studies, and that's the entire staff.
I think that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.